Yes, from the beaches of Fort Lauderdale to Knoxville, Tennessee. It's quite a change.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being here, and I'm excited to hear your story today.
Thank you for having me and happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I loved Joanne's story. God, what a moving story. I can't imagine going through that. And I thank you for having me. I was eager to share because I feel like I have such a story of hope. And I know a lot of people in our community have lost hope completely. So I got my first concussion or two in high school from cheerleading. And then I got them pretty regularly because I played rugby in college. And it was one of those things where I would have double vision and go to the doctor. And of course, I didn't have a brain bleed, so I was fine. That was, getting concussions in what, the year 2000 looked like. So fast forward to 2008, and I was holding my 18-month-old daughter on the back of a boat, and I slipped and fell and hit my head on the diving platform. At the time, I had a super, super successful career with the NHL team in their front office, and I literally don't remember anything from the fall on for a really long time. I had amazing doctors because I had all of the team doctors. So I had NHL team doctors and neurologists working with me, and what they decided about 4 months post fall was that I needed to retire forever. So I did. And I had good days and bad days. And unlike some people who slowly get, better and better, which is remarkable and amazing, I didn't. I just kept getting worse. So by 2013, I wasn't comfortable driving myself anywhere, even to my parents' house, which was 12 miles away, that I'd been to a million times. I couldn't drive my son to school or go to the grocery. I didn't have conversations with people because I just couldn't keep up with what they're saying. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know so many people on here listening now or later on the replay will probably be nodding their heads. They've been there. I would sit with my family and look through photo albums, and I couldn't recall anything that had happened in the pictures, and they would tell me stories of what we did. I couldn't walk in the neighborhood because I would get lost. So that's how I was progressing. And I really had decided by the end of 2013 that I wasn't willing to put my family through that anymore. I don't know if anybody else has ever felt like that, but I didn't want to live that way. I didn't want them to watch me, see me, forget who they were. And I was. I mean, I regularly, if my oldest son told me where he was going, 10 minutes later, I'd be calling him on the phone, asking him where he was. So I spent the entire month of December in 2013 mapping out what the end of my life would look like. I wrote letters to everybody. I planned it out. I had everything mapped out. And on New Year's Eve, I attempted suicide. And I did a really bang up job. The kicker is that my best friend at the time, who lived in Las Vegas, randomly called my husband and said, "Where is Christy?" And he told her where I was. And she goes, "I don't really think she's there. I've got a really bad feeling about this. Can you call her?" And I didn't answer. And so he called the people who I was supposed to be with. And they said, "Nope, she never showed up. She said she wasn't feeling well." And so he called her back and said, "She's not there." And the friend said, "She's at her parents' house." And she lived in Vegas, and we were, nowhere near each other. And she goes, "I just have a prompting that she's in Vegas. I mean, she's in at her mom's house." And he's like, "Her parents aren't in town." And she goes, "She's there." And so apparently he called 911 and he drove over there. And they found me, and what I woke up to in the hospital was him screaming at the foot of my bed and my brother crying. And if you can picture it, my husband's 6'4", my brother's 6'3", they're large people and they're like screaming and crying at me at the foot of the bed. Apparently I had flatlined. They brought me back and I was mad as hell. I was so mad because this wasn't an accidental like, oh, today's a bad day, I'm gonna end my life. Like, I didn't want to do that anymore. And I knew, not then, but a month or two later after being an inpatient and going through tons of therapy, that if I had lived, it was because God had something else for me to do. And it took a long time for me to grasp that, because I really wasn't even capable of doing laundry in my house with 4 kids, much less helping other people. But about 5 months after my suicide attempt, I was gaining weight. Of course, I don't know if anybody else has gained weight post TBI, but I couldn't get my heart rate above 120. So whereas once I had finished 4 marathons and 9 half marathons and exercised every day, I couldn't really work out anymore. I got too dizzy and nauseous, so I was gaining weight, and a friend of mine posted about some supplements that were helping her lose weight. So of course I ordered them. Looking back, I think, like, why would I order supplements to try to lose weight when I legitimately never left my house? But, you know, we have brain injuries. We do kind of quirky things every so often. So I ordered them. Lo and behold, they were actually gut health supplements. So I got a probiotic, I got a magnesium blend, I got a drink with chromium, and 3 days in, I woke up without a headache, which hadn't happened in years and years. At the time, I was taking 13 medications and 12 to 20 ibuprofen a day. So not only did my headaches go away in the first couple days, within 2 weeks, my migraines had stopped, and I had been having 5 to 6 migraines a week, like in bed. You guys know it. You guys know what it feels like lights off, no sound, feeling like garbage. And around week 4, when I could actively participate in casual things around the house with my family and have good conversations, my husband said, I don't know what you even ordered or what you're taking or how much it costs, but you need to keep doing it because I'm starting to see my wife again. I should note, prior to starting, the doctor sat us down when I was in the hospital and told my husband she won't recognize her kids in 2 years. She will be in assisted living by 2018, and she will be dead by 2020. The plaque is growing in her brain so quickly that she can't survive this. And they started me on early onset dementia medicine to try to slow it down. So a few months in to my gut getting healthy, my memory started to return. And that's where the hope comes in. And I think a lot of doctors, they don't have the time to study the relationship between gut health and brain health. And I didn't even start that for gut health. I was just trying to lose weight. But I do want to share an article published from Brain Sciences Journal. And I'm no medical professional, but if you're like me, once I had the major concussion, I started getting little minor concussions pretty easily. But they concluded in their journal article, we believe the relationship between TBI and the gut microbiome represents an area of study that could lead to a wide range of future research in new clinical intervention strategies. Alterations in the gut microbiome could potentially serve as a biomarker to improve detection of TBI and monitor progression, or as a therapeutic target to prevent secondary injury in brain-injured patients. Therapeutic strategies such as FMT and probiotics may offer a neuroprotective benefit by targeting the dysregulated gut microbiota brain axis and restoring the gut microbiota to a healthier profile. Leveraging knowledge of the gut microbiome in the setting of TBI holds the exciting potential to influence treatment of brain-injured patients and enhance quality of life for patients with TBI. So I'm not going to go on and on. What you could do is Google concussions and gut health and see the connection in what it does to your gut health and what poor gut health symptoms you have, and see if it could help. You can also Google, this was in 2018, there's a lot more articles now connecting TBI to gut health and how it actually damages your gut. And when your gut doesn't work properly, it causes all kinds of other symptoms. And I know everybody is different. and everybody's brain is totally different, which is why this is so hard. But I do want to tell you the symptoms that I had that I no longer have, in case you have some of these, and gut health could be the hope that you've been looking for. Migraines, memory loss, anxiety, depression, slow speech, brain fog, insomnia, fatigue, IBS, allergies, extreme mood swings, anger, sensitivity to sound and light, nausea, ringing in the ears, neuropathy, confusion, balance issues, and seizures. So as I finish up, what I really want to just do is offer hope, and that knowing if you dig into gut health, and all probiotics are not, made the same, so be smart about your decision. But if simply taking a few healthy supplements could give you your life back like it has mine, then I hope you try it, because I really had given up hope completely. And now most people don't even know that I have a brain injury, which is pretty amazing. So that's my story.
Oh, Christy, thank you so much for sharing and being so vulnerable and sharing with us and being so honest. And, I've mentioned this on my podcast, it feels like 100 times, but anyone with a TBI is 10 times more likely to have suicidal ideations, which ideation doesn't necessarily mean you're going to follow through with it. It just means you're thinking about it. And I know I certainly thought about it. I just couldn't find a way out of the pain. And we're 3 times more likely to actually follow through with it. And unfortunately, fortunately, you're still here.
Correct.
Even though you attempted. So we're grateful to have you here. And gut health, the brain-gut connection, so important. That it's frustrating in hindsight how gut health, hormones, vestibular therapy, like all these things that can help us, and traditional medicine over here is like, we don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
And as Christine said an hour or two ago, these doctors tell you there's nothing that can be done, but only that they don't know what can be done.
Yeah.
So you have to look over here for all the other people who truly can help us.
Yeah, and too many people don't look over here. They trust, my best friend got a horrible concussion, slipped on the ice 2 weeks ago, and she went in for her second follow-up 3 days ago, and I can hear it in her voice, and I can see it in her eyes. She's not okay, and her doctor said, okay, you look good. You're ready to resume all normal activity. And I was like, stop. You're not.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so hard.
So
thank you.
Thank you for having me.